All right, guys, so I'm going to go over a little bit of this music theory with you, okay? First and foremost, you should get a circle of fifths. That's number one, okay? Now, I'm going to start out in the key of C, right? I'm making a song. So now let's say I'm working on the chorus. This is the chorus. So I'm doing C, right? Actually, I'm going to go up a little higher. So I want to have more energy, so let's say it's something like that, right? Or, matter of fact, let's do C, right? And we could do a relative minor. So we got A minor, we got D minor. We also have F and we have G, right? And G is the number 5. So G is like one of the keys that you will land on to finish your chord progression for C. Or it's just number 5, which would also mean like it should be number 1 for the next progression. So like if my chorus is in C, that means my verse can start out in G. It'll be a perfect blend. You know what I'm saying? Going from C to G for number 1. So if for C, G is number 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You see, this is C. C, D, E, F, G. 5, right? So if you're in C and you're doing your chorus, I don't know what your progression is going to be, but if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, or like, let's say like this. All right, so that's the end of my progression, right? And I'm about to go into, let's say, the verse, right? And this is A minor. So from A minor, which is right there, you see A minor, the relative minor, and it's the number 6. Now, only thing I need to do is jump back to G to start the verse. And now my verse progression will be in G. So I'll move this over to G. And now, so from G, I could do C, but it's too high. But I'm not doing inversions right now. So if I was doing inversions, then it'd be from this, and then now I move to an inversion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to do both with one hand and the camera, but because I'm not fluid in the piano yet. But you get my drift. If I'm in the key of C for the chorus, I play my progression up until the point where I'm going to do a pivot chord that pivots me into my key change, which would be G. Right? This is only one key that I'm just going over right now. G, because G is the 5th of C and is also the 1 of G. So it's a good transition between C and G. So if I go from C, you know what I'm saying? Then if I want to go to a G, that sounds good. You hear that? C. So now, I could keep the same piano throughout. I don't have to start taking pianos and strings and stuff out. I'm just going to change the octave. So like, I'm in 1 octave right here. This is 1 octave. But now I'm gonna go to G for my verse, but I'm gonna drop down the octave. And now I'm gonna do my progression here. And then now I'm in G. Now maybe I go to, you know what I'm saying? Maybe to D. what I'm saying? I don't know what my progression would be. I would play it out like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the mood to even try to do inversion stuff right now, to be honest with you guys, because it's spreading the fingers, it's doing all that crazy stuff. But it's easier to play with the inversions of the sound. Just to let you guys know. So learn your inversions. Trust me. And inversion, if you don't know, is basically just taking a triad and then, you know what I'm saying, if I got the C here, so it's C, right? And this is E, and this is G. Now, I'm going to move up. I'm gonna hit C up here. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna hit the G, and I'm gonna hit the E. That's just an inversion. It's the same keys, but the inverse. It's an inversion. You know what I'm saying? So same thing like this. So C, E, G, C, E, G. Now you're gonna do E, C, and you're gonna hit the G. That's the inversion, right? So this is the same as this. But so it's easier to play in inversions because it's moving like, I don't know, it's moving pretty dope actually. But anyway, that's besides the point. My point is this. If you start your song out in one key, you have to find the next key to go into. So it should match. So like C has F, right? So can I switch the key from C to F? Usually the fifth key is easier to switch to. You know what I'm saying? Of this the diatonic scale, right? So usually the fifth is easier to switch to. That's what I know of. So I'll do a chord progression. Maybe I might play C first. Maybe I might play G second. Maybe I might play A minor third, D minor fourth, and then when I want to switch into the verse, I'll go into G. Will be my first thing. You get what I'm saying? So if I was to do that, let's go. So let's do C. Sorry, C. So I'm gonna do C, and I'm just gonna jump to G. Then I'm gonna go to A minor. No, sorry, A minor. Then I'm gonna go to D minor, which is D minor, and then from D minor, then I'm gonna go to G. Am I doing that right? G. This is G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, G major. Right. It's not G minor. G major. G major would be into the. All right. So let's do this again. One more time. So let's do C. Right. So we're gonna do C. Then let's do G, right? Then let's do A minor. Then let's do D minor, right? D minor, and then that would be like my progression, like my 4 like note progression for like the chorus. And then when I want to switch to the verse, I'll switch it to G. I'm in G now. But like I said before, the inversions, it's easier to play the inversions. I can't do it right now, guys. So if I was to go from D minor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So this is D minor. D minor. Let's say we want to do an inversion, right? So what is G? So G is, actually we might be able to, I can just do it. So this is G, C, E, right? So G, C, E. So G, G, I'm tripping right now. G, B, D. G, B, D, 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 right? G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. So if if I'm in D minor and I want to go to G, so I'll go to G, G, B, D. G, B, D. Is that right? Yeah, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. So. So, sorry. Alright, so this is D minor, D minor, then I go boom, boom, boom. Right, so. Yeah. Anyway, so you kind of get the point. I mean, I'm not a pro at it, you know what I'm saying? But when I do make my songs, I focus on this structure, like, you know what I'm saying? Pivot chords, modulating, and how to change into the next key. But I also don't take sounds out anymore. Whatever piano that's going through the song, I play it throughout the entire song. So I'll play my first progression, something like that, right? And then maybe from here, and maybe instead of going back to the A minor, you could start changing up the key progression. You know what I'm saying? From right here. So instead of being, I end on the F, right? So instead of going to the A minor, maybe I go to E minor or something. I change up the progression a little. I'm still in the same diatonic, but I might change it up a little bit, and then I might land on the 5. So like, for example, let's go to A actually. If I'm in A, yeah, see, I might change it up to E. So if I'm doing A, and this is A minor, so that's A major. But if I'm on A, so let's go, let me see. It goes to the relative. I'm about to get up out of here, but I just wanted to show you this. No. So if I go to A minor, so if I'm in A minor, right, then I might want to go to D minor, right? Is that D minor? That is D minor. It's inversion. So if I'm in A minor, then I go to D minor. So I'm in A minor, D minor, and then I go to, from D minor, I go to maybe C, and then to go to the next, to transition to the next part of the song, which would probably be into the verse, then I go from C to like G, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you get what I'm trying to tell you guys. You have to understand the circle of fifths, or how to move from, you know, the first key that you play, and then transitioning into the next key of your song. So your verse could be in the key of C. I'm sorry, your chorus could be in the key of C, and your verse could be in the key of G. And then from the key of G, your bridge could be in the key of D. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's how the circle of fifths fall. So then you will have to do your chord progression and then transition into the key of D. But then the main part of the song was in C. So can I get from D to C? You know what I'm saying? So do I want to come out of, can I come out of D and go into C? Well, that's kind of awkward. You know what I'm saying? That you would have to transition. You would have to go from D back to G to C. It gets. I tell you, this stuff gets crazy, guys. It gets crazy. But so as you're playing, first you want to do is get your progression. Once you get your melodic loop. Whatever your loop is, when you get your 4-bar loop, and you know you're gonna loop that again, right, to make your 8 bars. The second part of that 8-bar loop, you know what I'm saying, like that will end off your chorus. You have to figure out how to change the key pressing, your progression to go into the next key. That's how you're gonna get that emotion of the song. So if my song is in C, you know what I'm saying, C. But then the verse is in G, but it's in G in a lower octave down here. You hear that? That's lower. It's going to give me a different feeling. And also if you do an inversion. So if you do like... It's crazy, guys. It's not easy. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But I can tell you this much, man. If you do a piano, right? If you do a piano, and then you say you want to do some strings, right? And then let's say you want to do like some vocals. And you got piano, strings, and vocals for your chorus, and it sounds good and full. And then when you jump into your verse, you say, "Oh, let me take the vocals out." But I don't think you need to do that. I think you can keep everything in there, but now you start changing the octave and the tones of it, and that is going to keep your sound thick and full, but also change the timbre of the chorus compared to the verse. And that, so like if my verse, if this is my chorus a cappella, vocals, well then the verse should be down here, even if it starts, even if it's an F. You see? So it's the same sound, and it would be the same thick, full sound, but at a different octave. So now I could rhyme over it. Let's see. Planet of the Apes and my niggas go orangutan. Niggas talking shit and then the clips, you know those hammers bang. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But this is the chorus. No, how is it again? Oh, yeah. So you have the energy of the highs up here for the chorus, but then for your verse, and then if you want to throw a high pass filter over that low pass filter, or you could take it out. But I'm trying to say, if you take it out, you're gonna lose the essence. Like, think about this. You listen to like the Lord of the Rings and all these different movies and stuff like that, guys. They changed the octaves. They didn't even be taking stuff out unless they really, really take it out, because they're transitioning into another progression. That's why their progressions could be like. Like their progression, they'll continue the same progression. They'll just change the whole sound on you. And if you think I'm lying, go watch any movie, and the music comes on, and it'll probably be like they do a little bit, and then they'll switch the whole sound. But they're not really taking sounds out that's there. keeping their whole thing full, thick body. So the chorus is thick, the verses are thick, but it's how you manage the tones going up and why did you have so many? You got to use all this, guys. You can't just use. A lot of people just using this. That's what they're just using this, and they don't touch none of this. They don't touch none of this unless it's the bass line. They definitely don't touch any of these keys right here. And this adds a lot of thickness and fullness to your song. They mainly stay right in this area right here. You know what I'm saying, guys? So you gotta use all this. If I'm gonna make a song, I might start out here, but then I'm gonna also add some of this flavor. I'm gonna add some of this, and when I get my full thick sound, I'm not gonna start taking stuff in and out. Really, I'm gonna keep unless I have to, but you don't really have to. You know what I'm saying? If I add this to the chorus. Well, maybe you might not want that in the verse because it's too high. So maybe you might want to take that out, right? And just leave it in for the chorus. Or you just drop it down an octave. So what is this? This is C, right? So I'm in the verse. This would be for the verse. A little lower, maybe a little low. See how low that is? And then maybe I'll pan it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this your boy Old 5 Dynasty, guys and girls. So hopefully this helps you a little bit. Just remember though, you want to build emotion. So like you want to make sure your progressions make sense too. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? You want to do a lot of stuff, but like you know what I'm saying? So look how I did that. What? You might even be able to stumble upon a transition or a pivot chord or modulation without even looking at the circle of fifths by just playing around with the chords and stuff. Maybe just dropping a half step. Look. So where we at? What's this? This is E, right? Yo, it's crazy, right? Yo. But you start learning. So if you know this is a triad, this is sus. This is what? This is the 7. So let's see. Let's do sorry. This is the 7th. This is the what, 9th? Whatever. So anyway, this is your boy O5 Dice. Let me get up out of here. But you gotta learn music theory, guys. Just don't get on here and just keep playing around with these same 4-bar, 8-bar loops. You gotta understand how to do these pivot chords, these modulation, how to go from each key, how to read the circle of fifths, know the majors, the relative minors, what sounds good, what is a major, what is a minor. So if I'm in E, this, let me change the sound actually. Go back to the string. So this is C to E. This is E. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is E minor. Major, minor, major, minor. So I know that's an E minor. Now I want to go to whoop. Ooh, that's L. So this would be and this is how you get your progression. So and then whatever you finish on with your progression, you just gotta understand that you gotta be able to switch the key. And you switch the key, you good to go. And you gotta be able to switch back. So maybe you should start out with like, this might be a tutorial for you guys. I mean, lesson. Get a circle of fifths, number 1. I got the one by Noisy Clan, it's pretty dope. You start out in the key of C. You do your 4-bar or your 8-bar progression. Towards the end of your 8-bar progression, you want to change up your pattern to going into the G. G will be where you start your verse. So you start your verse on G specific. So your number 1 key, your downbeat, or whatever you want to call it, will be G for the verse. And then from the verse, you want to do G going back to C. So you know what I'm saying? So you just C would be your chorus, verse would be G, and then your chorus would be C. Do a progression like that, and then hit me up and let me check out the video. Let's do it like that. This is your boy O5 Dynasty. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to Google me. Don't forget to Google me.